No retreats. No retreats.
may be seated. Thank you to Mrs. Johnson, the string ensemble, and our alumni instrumentalists for our processional music. Good evening to our families, friends, Board of Trustees, esteemed faculty and staff, and our graduating class of 2026. On behalf of the Maumee Valley Country Day School Board of Trustees, I am honored to welcome you to the 142nd graduation exercises, a Maumee Valley tradition since 1884. Joining me tonight for the execution of our ceremony are Mr. Alan Bannister, President of Maumee Valley's Board of Trustees, and also a proud senior papa. Mr. Brian Oliver, Director of Advancement, also proud parent of a senior. And Mrs. Janice Smith and Dr. Jamie Barnes, our co-heads of Upper School. I offer a special welcome to our distinguished alumnus speaker, Zuri Hall, class of 2006. Tonight, our student procession was led by our junior marshals, Cameron Lloyd and Xavier McWilliams, member of our junior class and this year's Maumee Valley Life of the School Award recipients. Our tradition at Maumee Valley is to have our entire faculty and staff from all three divisions participate in the graduation procession. Our faculty are present so that we may acknowledge the important role that they have played as teachers, advisors, and mentors in the development of the class of 2026. The Maumee Valley faculty is an outstanding group of educators. They work passionately on behalf of our students, faculty, and staff. Thank you for being here. Yesterday, we concluded our school year with our all-school assembly and senior walk, where we honored our Larry Inning Staff Excellence Award winner, Renee Buchanan, and our Alumni Centennial Award for Faculty Excellence recipient, Amy Dankert, pre-K JK teacher. Amy and Renee, will you please stand to be recognized? There are also faculty and staff among us who have reached important milestones that I would like to recognize. Celebrating their 10-year anniversary, and faculty please stand, Brian Bozanich, Renee Mobius, Brian Oliver, and Anna Rodriguez. Celebrating 20 years of service are Sarah Bigelow and Dan Mumford, who regrettably couldn't be here tonight. We have two celebrating an impressive 30 years at Maumee Valley. Let's recognize Kitty Weinberg and Jill Augustiniak. Thank you for the tradition and legacy you help us to build every day. Before we honor the members of the class of 2026, I would like to thank the families and special friends of our seniors who are here today. Thank you for joining us on this journey. Whether you've been here 1 year or an impressive 15, we thank you for sharing your amazing children with us and for giving us the honor and the privilege of working with them during this important time of their lives. We have grown to love each one as our own, and we are excited to celebrate them with you tonight. Finally, and most importantly, we turn our attention to our seniors, the class of 2026, sitting before us this evening. The evening of commencement marks a new beginning for our 48 seniors. It gives us the opportunity to reflect back, but also to look forward as they begin their next chapter. And tonight, we confer upon them the highest honor, a Maumee Valley diploma. You will hear from our students about their journey and the elements that they have found special, and as I look at this class, I could not be more proud of who they have become. They are artists and athletes, musicians and poets, 4-H competitors and Eagle Scouts, and they have reached an incredible level of accomplishment in their time with us. Seniors, it usually takes our alumni a few years to realize what you've truly learned at Maumee Valley, how you have been trained to think critically, advocate passionately, and counter injustice. I have seen you firsthand in Dr. Cohen's class taking on elected officials, and challenging views. I know that you all are ready. Ready for whatever may come next, because you are resilient, you are strong, you are smart, and you have what it takes to be successful, whatever way you define success. Commencement is a beginning, and we're excited for your next chapter. My hope is that you take with you the Maumee Valley ethos. Continue to positively influence those around you with your kindness, your compassion, and the knowledge to do what is right. Your Maumee Valley family and I wish you all the very best. As we start our program, we have 2 awards that were not recognized at our Upper School Awards Assembly on Tuesday. These are 2 of our highest honors. You'll find in your program the awards that our seniors won on Tuesday, including cum laude, the Seal of Biliteracy, academic honors, and athletic and artistic achievements. It is my honor now to present our 2 final awards, the Maumee Valley Prize and the Head of School Award. As I read about the recipients, I am reading the words written by their advisors. The Maumee Valley Prize is awarded annually to that member of the senior class who, in the opinion of the faculty, best exemplifies the elements of growth, change, and personal maturation during their high school years. The one who has moved furthest toward realizing their potential in scholarship, character, or creative endeavors. There's a famous quote often attributed to the statesman Bernard Baruch: "Be who you are and say what you feel, because those who mind don't matter, and those who matter don't mind." Early in this student's high school career, I'm not sure our student would have believed that quote. Like many students trying to find their place, they wondered where they fit in. They mostly kept to themselves. They had a small circle of trusted people they kept close, but they always seemed to keep a guard up. Their advisor remembers a conversation with them about feeling like they just didn't belong and wondering where their place was within this Maumee Valley community. What makes this story so remarkable is not where it started, but where it is today. Growth rarely happens all at once, and it is almost never linear. It happens through challenges, setbacks, difficult decisions, and moments that force us to look honestly at ourselves. This student has faced more obstacles and external change than most people realize. They have every reason to become discouraged, to feel like a step backward meant failure. Instead, they kept moving forward. Maturity and accountability are where we see this student's growth the greatest. The student who had often pushed back in those early years, who sometimes saw teachers as adversarial and not allies, became a senior who understood that whether they wanted to do something or not, it still must be done. And trust me, their teachers heard about it. As the quote says, this student definitely said what they felt. During collab blocks, they would occasionally vent about the work at hand, but then they would sit down and do it anyway. They understood that balancing school, work, and life responsibilities isn't easy, but they also understood that success doesn't come from excuses. It comes from effort. It comes from making a decision every day to keep moving forward. But what impresses the faculty most about this student's growth has very little to do with academics, although they are academically strong. This past year, they pushed beyond their comfort zone. They seemed happier, more confident, more willing to trust the people around them. They realized they are not alone. One moment stands out more than any other. During a student conference, our recipient and their advisor talked about where they were and where they were heading. During that conversation, a profound shift happened. The student truly realized that they do not have to carry the weight of everything alone, that it is okay to ask for help, and that they are deeply a part of this Maumee Valley family. When they finally let their guard down and accepted that support, you could practically see the weight lift off their shoulders. The constant stress began to decrease, overall well-being flourished, and as a result, they became a much happier, lighter person. What stood out most wasn't a grade, a class, or a specific accomplishment. It was the fact that they had the courage to ask for help when they truly needed it most. That takes vulnerability, and it takes strength. For a student who once questioned whether they belonged, reaching out to others demonstrated tremendous growth. It meant trusting the people around them. It meant understanding that strength isn't about carrying every burden alone. Their advisor shared that it was difficult to hold back tears during that conference, not because of the challenges that the student was presently facing, but because they could see how much they had grown. Looking back at those early conversations freshman year, when she wasn't sure where she fit in, her advisor wanted her to know something. Like it or not, you are a part of this Maumee Valley family. You belong here, and you always have. Our guiding principle encourages our students to be you, and today, we are confident that she has taken this to heart. She has tackled challenges, made difficult decisions, balanced competing responsibilities, and continued to move forward even when life became difficult. She's learned that she does not need to change who she is to belong. The Maumee Valley Prize recognizes growth, change, and personal maturation. Our recipient's journey embodies all three. Her story reminds us that growth is not about becoming something different. It's about becoming the person you were always meant to be. Our student is Aubrey Dyer. Aubrey, your resilience, your maturity, your determination, your willingness is why we are here. We are so proud of you, and we hope that you will receive with gratitude the Maumee Valley Prize. Our second award is the Head of School Award. It is presented annually in recognition of a senior who has combined strong academic record with strength of character, leadership, and citizenship, and who has made the most significant contribution to the general good of the school. The recipient of this award is nominated by the faculty and selected by the head of school. At Maumee Valley Country Day School, we often speak about our vision to provide an education that is personal, experiential, and global. We see these words painted on our walls, printed in our handbooks, and woven into our courses. Yet it is a rare and beautiful thing to see a student who so beautifully embodies these abstract concepts vibrantly. Our recipient's journey highlights what these pillars mean. For those who have had the privilege of being her teacher, we watch with pride as she prepares to leave this campus. And we know that she leaves having helped to fully develop our school's spirit through her genuine passion, constant smile, and kindness that she brings to every interaction. True leadership is not about the titles you hold or the authority you have. It is about the way you hold the hearts of those around you. This year's recipient is someone who leads by listening rather than shouting to be heard. She operates with the fundamental understanding that the best way to move a community forward is to lift others up in the process, functioning as a selfless friend and a true collaborator. Whether organizing major school events, coordinating student activities, or simply helping a classmate navigate a difficult day, her leadership has never been about seeking the spotlight. It has always been about the pure joy and deep connection those initiatives brought to her peers. Nowhere is this personal connection more evident than in her profound love for the written word. It is quite rare today to hear students express a genuine passion for literature, for its study, its human connection, and its enduring value and application to our own lives. Yet she is incredibly well-read, and whether traversing a tried and true classic or contemporary literature, she does so with genuine interest. As Miss Lester beautifully noted, she is one of the few students who has asked to borrow, and whom Miss Lester trusts to return, her personal books. And she knows that our recipient will come to chat about the stories afterward. After all, who gets excited about the release of the Booker Prize? Our recipient. This personal warmth and accountability, this desire to share stories and treasures of intellectual conversations, is precisely how she builds a community of trust. Moving from the personal to the practical, her education has been profoundly experiential. She learns by doing and treats challenges as opportunities for growth. We have watched her flourish academically while simultaneously making incredible contributions to the success of our robotics team through her exemplary organization and work ethic. She has the rare ability to help the whole team course correct when things look bleak, and she did this all with a smile. Booze for you, Huggables, prom, not a problem for our organized taskmaster. But she continued these traditions by focusing on serving her community rather than seeking personal accolades. Her experiential drive culminated brilliantly when she served as the co-leader for Issue Day, turning an annual school event into a deeply meaningful experience. The faculty explicitly noted that it was one of the most organized and impactful issue days in recent memory because of our recipient's dedication. She shows us that experiential learning is about pouring your soul into the work to create something lasting for others. Finally, she embodies a global mindset, which at Maumee Valley is the fundamental understanding that we are all part of something greater. Her extensive work in student government was always about intentionally raising the spirit of our community. She acts daily out of a sense of deep responsibility to her school and to her peers, ensuring that Maumee Valley remains a vibrant, connected, safe, and inclusive place for everyone. So though we are saddened that she is leaving our hallways, we are also comforted to know that she will continue her journey as a lifelong learner, an impactful leader, and a change maker who will continue to share her recommendations and her brilliance with the world. As she moves forward, we know she will not just achieve success, but she will inspire it in everyone around her. It's my honor and privilege to present the 2026 Head of School Award to a student who truly defines the rich fullness of a Maumee Valley education, Hannah El-Tahawi. You can just stay there, Hannah. Each year, the senior class leaves a legacy through a senior class gift. Our senior class co-presidents, Hannah El-Tahawi and Schaefer Hireman, please come forward to present your class gift.
Good evening, faculty, friends, family, proud parents, and the remarkable class of 2026.
We want to begin by asking you all a question.
Actually, first, I'd like to say happy birthday to my best friend and my twin brother, Zine.
And a happy birthday to my amazing co-president and now award winner, Hannah El-Tahawi.
Now, Schaefer, I'd actually like to ask you a question. Do you think you remember how many missing assignments you had?
No, how about all those tardies you had?
No. What about that one test we both failed?
Maybe.
Wrong answer.
Fine, probably not.
Then I guess the question for all of us is, what will you remember about Maumee Valley?
And thank you, Miss Lester, for that rhetorical device that I hope got you all thinking.
For us, that question evolved into how do we want to be remembered?
It first clicked when we walked out to the parking lot, enjoying our long-awaited senior privileges. We smelled smoke outside, and before we could get too concerned, around the corner we spotted an assortment of students surrounding the fire pit on the Anning lawn.
At the head of our group was one of our very own class advisors, Mr. Mumford. This soon became a tradition for this group, weekly potlucks.
Beyond that, the Anning lawn has become the heart of our community.
Sitting at the center of campus, it is one of the few places where every part of the school seems to meet. And over time, it has become the place where so many of our traditions live.
We begin the year there at Fall Fest, enjoying Mumford's chili and s'mores.
Then, during Holy, our ISA leaders teach us to champion good over evil by dazzling the lawn with colors.
But the Anning lawn is not just where old traditions continue. It is also where new memories blossom.
From our little hawks spending the night under the stars, to our class embracing that same spirit with a surprise carnival for the whole school to enjoy.
That is what made this space feel right for our senior gift. It already does what we hope our gift will continue to do, bring people together.
Because what sets our high school experience apart is the culture that Maumee Valley fosters.
Between the two of us, we spent over half of our lives on these 75 acres.
We have lived through countless challenges, early mornings, sleepless nights, doubts, and the occasional lecture that, no, we actually can't watch the World Cup during geometry class.
But oftentimes, the best moments here are not the big planned ones. A lot of times, they happen when you end up with a group of people you didn't expect.
You join an intensive and suddenly spend 3 weeks with classmates you barely knew before. You end up on a team, in a club, in a group project, or in an advisory, and you slowly realize that people you never really talked to are now part of your story.
That is what Maumee Valley does best. It pulls people together from all different walks of life.
We have people driving 40 minutes every morning just to get to school.
And those who can ride their scooters here.
Some who have been shouted out on ESPN.
And others who have won state competitions for raising bunnies.
And with class sizes of 50 students, we will inevitably find our way to one another, despite these seemingly drastic differences.
I mean, in what other school do you know countless students by name, no matter the grade?
So, when it came time to choose our gift, that same question kept brewing in our minds. How do we want to be remembered?
We wanted to build another place that replicates what it is we think is so special about our school.
Our class gift is a renovation of the fire pit area, an above-ground fire pit with new seats and a wood rack.
It'll be turned into a space for these moments to happen. It creates a reason to gather.
Seating creates a reason to stay.
When people stay long enough, they talk.
And when they talk long enough, they become less like strangers and more like a community.
We hope that when future students gather here, they feel what we once felt.
Warmth, community, and that strange Maumee Valley magic of being thrown together with people you might never have chosen, only to realize they were exactly the people you needed.
So to the classes that come after us, use this space to create your own traditions. Carry on the legacy of Mumford's classroom potlucks, or start one completely unique to you.
Whatever it is you do, use it to meet the people you never expected to know, and remember that belonging is something you build.
And if this fire pit helps even one student feel a little more connected or becomes a starting point of a lifelong friendship, then we know we left behind something worth remembering.
As we leave Maumee Valley, we will remember this class as full of people who quietly entered our lives and somehow became impossible to imagine leaving. And maybe that finally is the answer we've been searching for.
So as we move forward, keep walking towards unfamiliar people. Keep joining the conversation. Keep saying yes to the groups, the projects, the events, and the places that make you feel a little uncomfortable at first. Because some of the best parts of life, just like at Maumee Valley, happen when you least expect them.
Stay enchanted by the inexhaustible variety of life. Keep fighting to understand calculus, even when you'd rather just chat with Miss Brazeau. Keep growing your cultural competency. Watch every movie with composition in the back of your mind. Hold on to the parts of yourself that this place and this group helped shape, and never forget what it was that made this school special to you.
We know our class will eventually become another group of names in a yearbook, but if this gift does what we hope it'll do, then a small part of us will remain in the conversations that happen around that fire pit.
Not because people will remember exactly who gave it, but because they will keep experiencing what made this place meaningful to us. So, years from now, when someone asks us, what do we remember about Maumee Valley?
We probably won't remember the tardies, the missing assignments, or even that test we failed. We will remember the traditions.
We will remember these people.
We remember the spaces that brought us together.
And now, hopefully, future students will have one more place to create those memories for themselves.
Thank you, and congratulations, class of 2026.
Do we hug? Sorry, I hit you in the face.
It's okay.
Thank you, Schaefer and Hannah. I am certain that the Maumee Valley classes following you will enjoy the fire pit as a place of connection and community. Each year, the senior class also gets to select student speakers to represent the class and present the final student address. Let's welcome Freddie Mueller and Leanne Reedy to the stage.
Good evening. On behalf of the class of 2026, we would like to welcome all family, friends, faculty, alumni, and distinguished guests to the 142nd annual commencement ceremony of Maumee Valley Country Day School.
Class of 2026, what a journey it's been. As we sit here in our caps and gowns, there's no shortage of emotions, excitement, nostalgia, maybe a little disbelief that this day has finally come. Some of us have been mentally checked out since March. Others are still hoping they've turned in all their consolation course assignments on time.
We are here for what are formally known as graduation exercises, a phrase that makes it sound like we are about to complete a series of carefully prescribed movements to prove just how far we've come.
We are told that tonight marks the moment when we've officially become educated. But educated doesn't quite cover it. It doesn't capture everything that happened to us here. The word feels too finished, too neat.
But then the German thinker Alexander Kluge suggested a new term, eruditio, the Latin noun meaning knowledge acquired through meticulous study or bringing out of the rough. The root of the word is literally to craft something from raw wood, rudis, raw, unfinished, uneven grain, splinters still intact. That feels more honest.
Because if high school has taught us anything, it's that none of us have arrived polished. We arrived loud, awkward, terrified, overconfident, underprepared, pretending not to care, caring too much. We were raw material.
Some of us mastered our freshman intensive, IR methods, research skills, critical thinking, academic foundation.
The rest of us mastered the video game Stumble Guys. But in our defense, watching your friend's character fall off a rotating platform for the 14th time in a row was a very effective bonding experience.
In retrospect, it was a surprisingly accurate metaphor for high school. You stumble, everyone laughs, and then you jump right back in for another round.
And then, somehow, we tied the seniors in our lunch games our freshman year, even though they refused to admit it.
We still didn't get the homecoming discount, but honestly, the scoreboard was more of a suggestion than a fact.
And somewhere between the late night studying, missed deadlines, countless announcements made during assembly, panic before presentations, and inside jokes that didn't make it into the yearbook, something happened to us. Not perfection, but shaping.
And maybe education, and I mean real education, was never about filling us with facts. Maybe education means exactly what Kluge says, to lead someone out of the wild woods. Which is funny because most of the time we had absolutely no idea where we were going.
We arrived as freshmen, trying to survive GLP, sitting quietly in the back hoping nobody would call on us.
4 years later, somehow those same students were organizing TEDx events, running cinema club showings, hosting Diwali celebrations, planning iftars, and leading communities we helped build ourselves. Somewhere along the way, we stopped asking where we were supposed to go and started helping others find their own way.
Our parents must have imagined high school as a straight path. 4 years, good grades, college applications.
Living through it felt less like a straight road and more like a wandering through a forest at night, holding a phone flashlight that's at 2%. Some of us found shortcuts. Some of us got lost. And some walked in circles convincing ourselves it was part of the process or just to avoid going back to class. Some of us changed entirely, And some of us are still figuring out whether we were being led out of the woods or just taught how to survive inside them.
Like the time we tried to convince highly unmusical, deeply uncoordinated people that learning the drums in 2 weeks and then performing is a completely realistic plan.
Or in AP Lang when we learned all about rhetoric. Thank you, Miss Lester. We'll be analyzing subtext in our casual conversations for the rest of our lives, and that's on you.
But maybe that's the point, because education is not the same thing as achievement. Achievement is measurable. Education leaves marks you can't quantify.
It's Miss Dickerson casually playing devil's advocate so convincingly you briefly start questioning your entire moral framework. Or the time she may or may not have accidentally spoiled Beloved. It's debatable.
It's the very real fear of Senora McNally's monkey being launched across the room in your direction.
It's Barbie bungee jumping in Mr. Dane's class, carefully for data collection purposes, while everyone quietly wonders if the Barbie is actually going to survive.
It's Dr. Cohen's Athens versus Sparta debates, which starts as a history class and somehow ends as a full-scale philosophical argument you didn't know you were participating in.
It's the book you hated when you read and loved when you remembered, like Life of Pi freshman year, which we had all summer to read, but somehow collectively avoided until the last week of intensives.
I'm still trying to figure out if we were supposed to be analyzing spirituality, survival, or how a teenager ended up stranded on a boat with a tiger. It's learning how to sit with uncertainty, discovering 1 month before the AP exam that there are 2 units left that we haven't heard about.
How to navigate setbacks, like when the robotics team's flight got canceled to nationals.
We don't talk about that.
It's still a touchy subject, I guess.
How to become someone different than who you were at 14, which is harder than memorizing any textbook.
Schedule changes, longer classes, shortened attention spans, which is a combination not exactly designed for human stability. And then the time change from 8:15 to 8:05, which raised questions about whether 10 minutes is real or merely theoretical.
You still showed up at 8:15.
Every time.
Hawk blocks turned into a mix of actual studying, whether that was AP psychology or multivariable calculus, and the gradual discovery that study group sometimes just means collectively pretending that the assignment is smaller than it is.
And other times, study group turned into football and planning out plays on the whiteboard in the student union.
Basketball in the gym?
And the constant attempts to hide the ongoing soccer game underneath the tables. All strictly responsible, of course.
And then our class events. Prom, Boo for Yous, the senior surprise carnival, each requiring a setup that took twice as long as it should because of this class's constant distractions and constant side quests.
Somehow, senior skip day turned into an Olympic event. Roller skating and running through the sky maze like we were being chased by responsibility itself. Ping pong matches escalated from study break to international rivalry with referees we made up.
And of course, nothing will quite capture us like the 6 or 7 iconic elevator photos or the group chat that somehow managed to be pure chaos and our most reliable source of information.
And honestly, I think Ferris Bueller had it totally right when he said life moves pretty fast, 'cause it does.
Fast enough that people will try to hand you ready-made identities before you've had the time to build your own.
Fast enough that achievement can start replacing curiosity.
Fast enough that when you wake up one day and realize you've spent years climbing a ladder only to wonder if it was leaning on the wrong wall or if it will come crashing down.
Maumee Valley gave us direction.
Not a map. Those have been outdated for years anyways. But orientation, the ability to recognize where we are.
To notice beauty, to ask better questions, to know when something feels false, to walk into unfamiliar woods without immediately panicking.
And even though none of us know exactly who we're becoming yet, no matter how convincing our LinkedIn profiles or quarter zips look.
We took a whole class on the evolution of human thought. Dr. Cohen quite literally walked us through how humanity's understanding of itself changed across the centuries.
And we still have absolutely no idea what we're doing, even after graduation.
Not a clue.
But that's the point, because education is not the end of being unfinished. It's the beginning of knowing you are unfinished.
We are still raw wood, and that's good news. Raw wood can become anything. A violin, a table, a door, a ship.
And firewood, if things go really bad. But even that has educational value for Mr. Mumford in his medieval history class.
Just don't get burned.
All this matters, because eventually nobody will be grading us anymore. there'll be no one to scold us for keeping the student union clean. Miss Brazeau, we tried our best.
There will be no rubric, no GPA, no attendance policy, just us trying to decide what kind of people we want to become when nobody is assigning it for homework.
And maybe adulthood is just realizing that the woods never fully disappear.
They just get larger, more complicated, and more precious.
So, as we leave today, I hope we keep a little of the unfinishedness, a little curiosity. Don't take yourselves too seriously.
I hope we continue crafting ourselves instead of outsourcing the job to algorithms, expectations, or fear.
And I hope we remember that education was never about escaping the wilderness entirely. It was about learning how to move through it together.
Sincerely yours, the class of 2026. Thank you.
Nobody describes a Maumee Valley education better than our students who've lived it. Thank you, Freddie and Leanne. Next, I would like to invite our vocal ensemble to perform Seasons of Love, followed by Freddie Mueller performing Thank You for the Music.
All right, while we're getting set up here, I just want to make one quick note. Today you will be hearing a couple soloists, so you will be hearing Freddie Mueller sing on this next selection, as well as Eva Liang and Isabella Stevie. As well, we will also be accompanied on piano by Eric Broman. Yeah.
Before I sing, I just want to say this is my 15th year at Maumee Valley. I've known everything. I've been with this class forever, and the song I'm going to sing is on behalf of everyone here, and I just want to say I love you guys. It's been a heck of a ride. I'm nothing special, in fact, I'm a bit of a bore. If I told a joke, you've probably heard it before. But I have a talent, a wonderful thing, 'cause everyone listens when I start to sing. I'm so grateful and proud. All I want is to sing out loud. So I say thank you for the music, the songs I'm singing. Thanks for all the joy they're bringing. Can't live without it, I ask in all honesty. What would life be without a song or a dance? What are we? So I say thank you for the music, for giving it to me. Mother says I was a dancer before I could walk. She says I began to sing long before I could talk. And I've often wondered how did it all start. Found out that nothing can capture a heart like a melody can. Well, whoever it was, I'm a fan. So I say thank you for the music, the songs I'm singing. Thanks for all the joy they're bringing. Can't live without it, I ask in all honesty. What would life be without a song or a dance? What are we? So I say thank you for the music, for giving it to me. I've been so lucky. I am the boy with golden hair. Wanna sing it out to everybody. What a joy, what a life, what a chance. Thank you for the music, the songs I'm singing. Thanks for all the joy they're bringing. Can't live without it, I ask in all honesty. What would life be without a song or a dance? What are we? So I say thank you for the music, for giving it to me. So I say thank you for the music, for giving it to me. From the bottom of my heart, once again, thank you, Maumee Valley.
Thank you, Freddie, and our vocal ensemble for sharing your talents with us this evening. Tonight is about celebrating how far our seniors have come, but it's also about looking forward to where they're going. And our keynote speaker, Zuri Hall, exemplifies how far you can go when you pursue your dreams with a plan and determination. 20 years ago, in 2006, she was here where you are now. Today, she is an Emmy Award-winning television personality and host. You may know her from NBC's Access Hollywood, American Ninja Warrior, and E! Entertainment Channel. During awards season, she is a trusted voice and a style staple on the red carpet interviewing Hollywood's biggest stars at the Oscars, the Grammys, and the Emmys. She has hosted everything from the Miss USA pageant to massive global movie premieres. After graduating as an academic scholar from The Ohio State University, she built a career defined by heart, humor, and thoughtful conversation. But what makes her truly remarkable is not the bright lights of Hollywood or the celebrities she interviews. It's what she does when the cameras are turned off. She is a deeply passionate philanthropist, serving as a global ambassador for the Global Fund for Children and using her platform to partner with the Black and Missing Foundation to bring vital awareness to missing persons of color. Whether she is launching her own production company, Good News First Studios, or mentoring the next generation, her true mission is to empower others to chase their own biggest dreams. Zuri is someone who doesn't just talk about making a difference. She lives it every single day. She's a proud Toledo native, a proud Buckeye, and forever a part of our Maumee Valley family. Class of 2026, please give a warm welcome to Miss Zuri Hall.
Hello, thank you for that. It is mortifying to have to sit through your own bio. I feel insufferable right now. But thank you so much for having me. This truly is an honor. As Lynn mentioned, this is the 20-year anniversary of me sitting exactly where you all are right now. And you don't realize just how many core memories you have until you're walking these halls again and you're walking these steps and you're looking for buildings that don't exist anymore because you graduated a really long time ago. But it sounds like you all really understand what you're leaving and what you have, and that awareness is really going to serve you well. So, congratulations to the class of 2026, to your families, to your teachers, to the people who packed the lunches and proofread the essays and sat in traffic to pick you up and drop you off until you could drive on your own. You all did this together, so I also want to say congratulations to all of you. So let's you give them a round of applause for their support. The last time that I was sitting on a stage like this one, 20 years ago, I knew I had my life so figured out. Spoiler alert, I did not. I had a plan, and I had a backup plan to the plan. I loved a plan. And one of my teachers here, when I was a senior, gave each of us a word that sort of summed up who we'd proven ourselves to be during our time at Maumee Valley. And the word that I was given was tenacious. And I'm going to circle back around on that in just a few, but I want to go a little bit off script because I came here today and I got to speak with some of you and tour the campus and understand what life at Maumee Valley looks like now, 20 years after I left it. And I got to speak with Yvonne and Freddie and Jaden, and it was just so lovely to realize how bright your futures are. Freddie, for the record, I too had to read The Life of Pi and had all summer. The difference is Freddie actually finished the book. I'm not entirely sure I did, but I also just turned 38, so my memory could be failing me right now. Either way, please do not revoke my diploma. I read all the other ones. Thank you very much. There's another face in the crowd that I want to call out. My parents are here, Joseph and Valencia, but also my brother Joseph, the class of 2010, if you could just give a little wave. You know, as the older sister, I take a lot of pride in making his life miserable on a daily basis. But he takes more pride in stressing me out. And so he drove from Columbus to Toledo specifically to troll me and try to throw me off my game for this entire speech because Joe's always starting some type of trouble. And I remember when we first started at this school, I would have been 12, and Joe was in 3rd grade, and I was always getting called down to lower school from the middle school to see what the heck Joe was up to. at that moment. And normally it was trouble. But I want to say that so many years at Maumee Valley have really, and this is the only nice thing I'm going to say for probably the year, Joseph, so I hope you're writing it down, has really turned him into an incredible man that I am really proud of. And on Monday, my little brother, who is a major in the United States Air Force, will be taking command of his own squadron. So could you please help me embarrass my little brother, class of 2010. Okay, that's enough. Let's not gas his head up anymore. It's, he's good. Congrats, bro. But circling back to that idea of tenacity, I have had specific dreams for a long time, and when I was in 6th grade, I knew I wanted to come to this school. I had to go to this school. I heard it was the best school in Toledo, and there was this scholarship testing, and if you get a scholarship, maybe I could afford to go to this school. My parents were absolutely in agreement that it was an incredible school, but it didn't seem like a possibility financially at the time. I convinced my papa, who is gone but forever in our hearts, to take me to the testing without letting my parents know. And so at 11, he picked me up in our getaway van the morning of the scholarship testing, and I ended up getting that scholarship. And that was the beginning of an incredible journey that has absolutely changed the course of my life. I knew I wanted to go to Maumee Valley. I knew I wanted to be a TV host. I knew I wanted to be national by 25, but what I didn't know was how many failures, how many setbacks, how many no's, how much rejection I was gonna face in the pursuit of that. And so, yes, I was tenacious, and I never took no for an answer. I was specific about what I wanted, but without ever planning to be, I also realized I was wildly flexible about how I got there. So when I think about the advice that I want to give you and have been able to give a few of you earlier at lunch, I took the long way round, and it was not on purpose. I figured after Ohio State, I was going to pack up, I was going to go to Hollywood with a few dollars and a dream, and that was going to be that. Instead, I ended up in Dayton, Ohio with less than a few dollars, dream intact, and what on a rare occasion felt like a 1-year prison sentence. But, you serve your time and you move on to the next thing. At the end of the day, it was just an entirely different map than the one I naively assumed was the only one. Sometimes you will get so busy beating down the front door, trying to convince someone or something to let you in to the dream that you have, the thing that you know for sure you want to do. But I encourage you to step back, to take in the full view of the thing that you are so desperate to enter into, and notice sometimes there's a window on the side that's cracked open. Technically, that is breaking and entering. And for legal reasons and the record, I do not recommend that. It's a metaphor. Moving on. The point is, there is more than one way into the right room. I hope you understand that there is more than one way to the destination you may crave. And now more than ever, you all are inheriting a world that demands flexibility. The very multi-hyphenate nature of my interests and my existence when I was your age, the thing that felt tricky for people to understand as they demanded I pick a box and climb into it, that's the exact world 20 years after my own high school graduation that will reward the fact that you are all brilliantly multidimensional and multi-talented. It's fragmented, it's polarizing, it's ever-changing, but you're ready for it all. It was my willingness to find the window to change the route without abandoning the destination that got me where I am. And so if I could offer up a word for all of you today, it would be flexible. If the only thing constant is change, then please get ready to embrace it. And here's where I really want to brag on Maumee Valley. You are walking out of a school that has set you up for the real world in a way a lot of your peers are not yet set up. I realized that as I entered the real world and challenged respectfully adults to defend their stances and their opinions. We've mentioned critical thinking and the ability to hold one's own. And I didn't realize until I left that that was a gift, that that was a skill set, that that was something that everyone entering into the real world at high school graduation did not have the privilege of experiencing. So use that. You have been allowed and encouraged to take up space, and that is going to put you ahead of the game as you step into this next chapter of your lives. So I want to encourage you, when it comes to the pursuit of your dreams, to always be willing to begin again. As much as I have quote unquote achieved, as much success as some might say I have had, relatively speaking, when I look back at the whole of it, they were hard-won exclamation points on the end of really, really challenging run-on sentences, ones peppered with a lot of no's, unplanned chapters, and unexpected reroutes. So please, again, begin again. No matter what the plan is that you have today, I say this with love and eternal optimism. It will not go to plan, not exactly, not specifically, not always, and that is not a bad thing. When you approach the world that you're about to enter with curiosity and flexibility, you will be surprised that you end up in places you never expected. There's a proverb I love that says, the longer you stay on the wrong train, the more expensive it gets to find your way home. And we're not just talking about trains. So to present you with another worn down but entirely accurate platitude, it is better to admit you walked through the wrong door than to spend your entire life in the wrong room. So once you're on a college campus in a course on behavioral economics or psychology, you may learn that quote is quite the metaphor for the sunk cost fallacy, right? Our, and I quote, tendency to follow through with something that we've already invested heavily in, time, money, effort, emotional energy, even once changing directions or just straight up ending it and cutting your losses has become the obviously better idea. But this is Maumee Valley, so you probably learned that in third grade, honestly, but as long as you know it. So if you ever feel overwhelmed by the idea of starting over as you step into this start, when you think of the time that you've invested in the things you think you want, I just encourage you to remember how much time you have left, the life yet lived. And so if I may humbly give you a bit of permission, you are allowed to begin again, to say, I don't know, I think I should start over, I've changed my mind. This is not your last beginning. It is the first of many more. Another thing that I wish someone had told me, and I'm gonna wrap this up pretty soon here. How we doing on time? Good? Yeah. Okay. He was like, yeah, I mean, you could just like land the plane. That'd be cool. Another thing that I do want you all to focus on is building up the pillars of your life. Find meaningful ways to call in the things that you want, and do not build on one pillar, because when that shakes, for me it was my career. Coming out of Maumee Valley and Ohio State, when the career pillar shook, my world shook. I realized I had built my world on one pillar. So I encourage you to think about how you want to feel, build up the other pillars of your life, your faith, your career, sure, your loved ones, the quality time with them, and think about how you want to feel. I knew what I wanted to do. I did not know how I wanted to feel. And so when you hit the markers that you will inevitably hit, it might not feel like what you thought it would. And so now I work backwards. I name the emotions that I want to feel, and I've tried really hard to build a life around that. So as I wrap this up, I want to say, you do not have to have it all figured out. You are young adults, and I would encourage you to embrace the young part. You're impressive young adults, but please embrace the youth. Carve out time for play, for adventure, for exploration. Give yourself permission to get it spectacularly wrong, and enjoy the cartilage in your knees while you have it. Take glucosamine supplements. This is not official medical advice, but I highly recommend it, because one day you're going to fall on the red carpet at the Oscars and you're going to hope Denzel Washington didn't see it, but he probably did. And it's not your heels, it's because you don't have cartilage in your knees anymore, and that is just my life now, okay? So, in conclusion, build a life that feels as good as it looks. build it on more than one pillar, refuse the box, do the scary things, scared, feel the fear, and still choose to fly. You've got this. Congratulations. Godspeed, good luck, and go Hawks. Thank you.
Thank you, Zuri. We really appreciate those words of advice. I would now like to invite Alan Bannister, President of our Board of Trustees, and Mr. Brian Oliver, Director of Advancement, to the stage for the conferring of diplomas.
Good evening. In keeping with school tradition, we ask that the family of each graduate to please stand, if you are able, when your child's name is called. Members of the class of 2026, please come forward to receive your diplomas. First row, please rise. Simon Matthew Amonette. Sophia Clara Avram. Cranston Maximus Bannister. Hannah Gabriella Batista. Eric Sebastian Broman. Julia Elizabeth Burke. Well done, Uli. Andres Kyle Casalino. Oliver Thomas Dunn. Aubrey Shylin Dyer. Hannah Al-Tahawi. Good job, Hannah. Zinedine El-Tahawi. Fan Xiongming. Hugh Zin. Genevieve Pearl Heising. Schaefer James Hireman. Would the first row please be seated? Second row, please rise. Adeline Rose Jaffe. Jaden Andrew Jefferson. Akash Mandar Joshi. William Jeffrey Kazmerzak. Alice Christianis. Caden William Levine. Corinne Judianne Moore. Fred J. Mueller. Max Clifford Oberlin. Quinn Marie Oliver. Trisha Perinja. Yesh Rator. Jordan Marie Reynolds. Leanne Dan Reedy. Winter Roach. Adam Anthony Roberts. We have another photo opportunity in the back, so we're just getting caught up. Would the second row please be seated? Third row, would you please rise? Maxfield Ernest Savage Edwards. Gabriel Christopher Skinner. Louis Raymond Snelling VI. Suan Fan Zi. Aaron Sidney Tanner. Eleanor Gladwell Thomas. Penelope Joy Wiener. Samuel Lee Williams. Tarek Ghazi Yassin. Aman Zafar. Zoya Sayeda Zamir. Zhang Do-han. Jalen Zhang Hao-han. Alan Zhang. Zhou Shumiao. And Yvonne Zhou Yutian. Would the class of 2026 please rise? You may now shift your tassels. And I may now present the class of Maumee Valley 2026.
As we finish, we invite all in the audience who are able to please stand as we sing the Alma Mater. You will find it on the back of your program, and we'll ask our vocal ensemble to help. If our audience will please remain seated for just a few more minutes, our class of 2026 will recess, followed by the faculty who will line up behind us for our receiving line. Thank you for being with us tonight.
One more time. One more time. So. 1, 2. Let's go back to Dance of Fire and just do that now, people. Dance of Fire that we didn't get to. And then we'll do. We won't play too much more.